Well, welcome everyone to Classroom Kickstart Live. My name is John Sowash, and for the next hour or so, we're going to be exploring the new Google Classroom. I'm going to share a quick overview of all the updates, and then you are actually going to have a chance to get into Google Classroom live with me and check out the new updates as a student. So I've got a course set up, and I'm going to give you the code of the course and let you get in a little bit. Thrilled to have you here. Thanks for joining me. We will officially kick off at 8 p.m. Eastern, so that's about 15 minutes from now. So you've got some time if you want to grab a beverage to sip on while we wait for the webinar to begin. You're certainly welcome to do so. The live chat is available. If you are viewing this on YouTube, that live chat should appear on the right side of your screen. And just give me a quick shout out. Tell me where you're from and what's going on in your neck of the woods. Glad to have you here. We'll get started in a little bit. All right, I think I've got all my windows organized now. Got about 6 different things I'm trying to fit on this the screen. I don't have my second monitor this evening. All right, I think I've got all my windows organized now. Got about see some familiar faces. It's got some people from Michigan. That's where I am typically from. Today I am broadcasting from the rural cornfields of southern Illinois. I am in Danville, Illinois, currently doing a 2-day workshop for a group of teachers over here. And came in last night, heading home later tomorrow. So, all right, KC Moon is from Indiana. I'm not far from you. I'm right on the Indiana-Illinois border. I see Shannon from Orlando. That's great. Orlando, we consider our second home, our winter home. We like to go to Orlando in the winter, escape the Michigan winters. Yeah, I got a couple people from Florida. That's great. Hi, Lori Ann. Welcome. Brian, thanks for the feedback on the book. I appreciate that. It was a labor of love. Actually, I've got a copy right next to me. I've got a couple here I'm going to be giving away today. So stick around. You might be a winner. Welcome those again who just are just joining us. This is the Classroom Kickstart webinar. We're going to be looking at the new updates to Google Classroom. We'll officially start at 8 p.m. Eastern, which by my clock is about 9 minutes from now. We're going to split this into our session here today into 3 segments, roughly 15 minutes each. First 15 minutes or so, I'm just going to give you a quick, very basic general overview of the new changes. I'm going to use a slide presentation for that just so I can stay focused. I don't want to get too distracted. I tend to click around and talk about things, give my opinion. So the first part is just simply going to be a quick overview, no opinions, no commentary, just this is what happened. This is what they changed. Okay. Then I'm going to give you the code to a Google Classroom that I have set up, and you're going to actually have an opportunity to join me inside of Google Classroom and take a look at those new features from a student's perspective. So we'll do that. I've got a couple of quick, simple assignments that we'll use to kind of illustrate some of those new features. And then finally, I will give some personal thoughts and commentary on the changes, some of the things that I like and some of the things that I think they need to change or adjust to make it better. So, and then we'll wrap things up with a Q&A. Let you type in any questions you have, and I'll do my best to answer them or certainly have a discussion. Love to hear your feedback as well. So cool. Great. Well, that's a quick plan for the day. Again, we'll start at 8 Eastern. It's about 7 minutes from now. Thrilled to have you guys here. Let's see. I saw somebody from, Arita from Spain. Thank you for joining us. It is the middle of the night for you. Thanks for joining in. Got a lot of friends from Michigan on the webinar today. Awesome. Great to see you. Mary, good to see you. Kim, I saw you as well. Well, before we get a chance, we officially kick off, I'm curious, how many of you actually have access to the new Google Classroom? Have you guys signed up for the beta testing? I'll show you how to do that if you haven't. It won't give you immediate access. It can take up to a week for it to kick in. But leave me a comment if you've got the new updates. Let me know. Yeah, Kim, I don't know exactly how they do it. I mean, it's just a Google form that you have to sign in up to get it. Actually, let me just throw it in the comments here so you guys can do it now. I'm getting the link. Let's see. All right, I'll throw the link in here. Make sure I got the right one. Yeah, okay. So I would definitely encourage you to sign up to be a beta tester. Putting the link in the chat. If you click that link, it's just a Google form. You can fill it out. It's not instant. It appears that they go in once a week and add everyone who's filled out the form. It doesn't seem that there's a specific day, just whenever they get around to it. So, you might get lucky that tomorrow might be the day that they dump a bunch of new people in there. But it has been fairly quick, a week to 10 days from the time you sign up to the time you get access. So, I would definitely encourage you to sign up as a tester and get early access. That'll give you a jump start on the school year. So that link is in the chat if you want to check it out. Yeah, Kim, you'll get an email from Google when they grant you access to the updated version of Classroom. And then when you log into Classroom, it'll give you a little pop-up message that will give you an update as well. Lori, officially Google has said that the new version of Classroom will be available for everyone in August. I don't know if that's August 1st or August 30th. They haven't really indicated that. There are actually a few features that they have mentioned that are still not available even in the beta version. So there will be some changes coming in the coming weeks as well. I'll kind of highlight a few of those. Some of them are just minor interface issues. There's one major thing that we don't have access to quite yet, which I'm eagerly awaiting. Excuse me while I fix my microphone. I'm back. Sorry about that. Mary, I'm looking for good question. So Mary said, if I get beta access, do my students have access? Yes. So there aren't any features that are unique to students. Really, all of the new features are attached to the teacher's account in terms of when I create the class, I get the new version of Classroom, and then my students, when they join, they'll see however my classroom is set up. So your students are going to get whatever you have. And so you're going to actually see that tonight. I'm going to invite you to join my Google Classroom, and you'll be able to, even if you don't have beta access today, you'll be able to see some of those features from a student's perspective, and at least get an initial thought on it. Megan, you've got a good question there as well. This is a pretty important thing. If you create your courses before you get the new version of Classroom, your old courses will be kind of stuck in the old version. And so if you have not yet created your courses for the coming school year, I would wait as long as you can until all these updates roll out. That's another really good reason to sign up for the beta program, because you're going to get access earlier, which means you'll be able to get a jump start on the school year. But I'll kind of go through that here in a little bit. This is awesome. Got some a lot of awesome people here. Queensland, Australia. Thank you so much. It's real early in the morning for you. I got some people from Spain, all across the United States. I've got about 237 people on here, which is awesome. I've got 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm on Central Time at the moment. Let me introduce myself, and we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is John Sowash. I am a former high school science teacher and high school principal, taught outside of Detroit, Michigan for 5 years. and then began doing technology training and technology support for schools, which is what I do now. I write books, courses, and provide training for schools to help them use technology in meaningful ways. I am the author of this book here, Chromebook Classroom. And I've got this because I want to give away a couple of these. And I'm going to give this copy away right here to Sheila Briggs. Sheila, you were the first person to join the Hangout this evening. You're the first person to leave a comment. The early bird gets the worm. So I'm going to sign this for you. And Sheila, if you would send me an email, just reply to one of my emails and let me know your mailing address. I will get this copy in the mail for you right away. We've got another copy that I'll give out towards the end of the webinar. So Sheila, congratulations. You're going to get a copy of my book, The Chromebook Classroom. I've got a couple other things I'm going to give away today. Coming up, I'm running an online course, a 5-week online course on Google Classroom. I had scheduled this course for like 6 months, and then Google pushed out all these updates. So I have been feverishly updating the entire course to make sure that it's up to date with all the changes. I'm going to be giving away 2 free registrations to the course during the webinar as well. We'll give away a copy here at registration at the beginning, and then one at the end as well. So look forward to that. So there are 3 segments to this 60-ish minute webinar. The first 15 minutes or so, I'm going to give you a quick opinion-free overview of the new updates to Google Classroom. And then I'm going to invite you to join my Google Classroom, and you'll be able to kind of poke around and see what that looks like from a student's perspective. And then finally, I'm going to spend 10-15 minutes or so giving you some insights, a little bit of my opinions on how these changes are going to impact you as a classroom teacher, what you need to know, how this is going to be helpful for an elementary teacher or a high school teacher, things that you should be aware of, and adjustments that you are going to need to make. And then we'll wrap things up with a Q&A to wrap up our evening. So thrilled to have you guys here. I am going to do a screen share now. I'm going to switch over to my slide deck and quickly give you an overview of the updates to the classroom. I won't be able to see the chat while I'm in the screen share, so I'll try to go back through here and check out the questions in a little bit. But let's go ahead and dive in and get started. Do that. All right, so we've got some big updates to Google Classroom that we have to be aware of. Some of you have access to Classroom already, and you'll be familiar with these. This is brand new to you. So the purpose of this next 10 minutes or so is just give you a quick overview of those big updates from a high level, just kind of an overview, and then we're going to go into the details. So 4 really big updates. First, just kind of listing them off. First off, Google has changed the stream to now provide a chronological list of all class activities. So it's kind of Facebook-esque in that when you go to the stream, it's going to list everything that has happened in the course from the most recent to the oldest. We now have a new classwork page, which arranges assignments by topic. Now, this has been a popular request. Previously, we only had the stream and it was listed chronologically. So we can now group our assignments a little more effectively. Thirdly, we have a new people page where we can manage our students, co-teachers, and guardians all from one central location. And then lastly, Google has combined all of the settings into one area where you can adjust your class code, the settings for commenting, deleting comments, things like that. So those are kind of just quickly 4 big updates. Let's get a little bit further into the details. All right, first up, here is a quick screenshot of that new stream page. So they've really kind of cleared it out and simplified it quite a bit. So you'll notice we don't have those topics down here anymore. Typically they were in this area. Those are gone. So this is the stream, and then you'll see this classwork option up here at the top as well. You'll also notice, it's again very kind of clutter free. We don't see any, there's no assignments that are due, how many are done, not done, returned. It doesn't give us any of those details, doesn't say the due dates or anything. So just a very clean, simple interface in the stream now. Here is the new classwork page. This is probably the most significant update. So the big thing is that when we used to have the topics in the stream, they're just kind of those little tags that appeared over here on the side. They're now much more prominent. You can see the dark banner here, and then we've got the topics listed underneath. This one here happens to have a scheduled post. This is a teacher's account, and so that scheduled post is listed within that topic as well, which is a little bit nicer than just being tossed up at the top of the stream as they previously were. You'll also see up at the top, we now have this create button rather than the plus button down in the bottom right corner. Now, this one is a little bit of a mystery because when I go into Classroom Live in a little bit, I actually am still using that create button, not this, or the plus button down here, not the create button up here in the top left. We believe that this new button will come, and it makes more sense to put it here rather than the bottom corner, but we'll see. So that's the classwork page. One of the major new things that you can do on the classwork page is you can now organize your topics any way you want. So before, we could only move them to the top, and so you had to do that kind of Rubik's Cube maneuvering of shifting things around to get it where you wanted. We can now move things directly up or down as we want to, move this bold area up and down on the page, which is pretty cool. This is a screenshot of the people page. You can see everything together in one space. We've got our teachers up here at the top, co-teachers, our students, and then our guardians are still here in the same spot as well. So pretty similar, but they've just consolidated the teachers also. Now, one big update that they have made is that they have really changed the About page. So if you remember previously, Google Classroom had 3 pages. It had the stream, students or classmates, and then the About page. And a lot of teachers were using the About page to post resources like syllabus, free time activities, a list of class resources, things like that. The About page has really been de-emphasized. It is still technically there, but it's in a very different place. So it's hard to see, but it's right over here in the top right corner, kind of where you would change your profile photo typically. So by clicking on that little About tab, it pulls up this little screen here where students can see whatever you type in. Now, I'm just going to show you later on a little hack that I've been using to get some of the same functions back to the About page from what we've used. But it's a pretty major shift away from what you may have done in the past. Now, there's some pretty big assignment updates as well. Now, we don't have access to all of these features yet, so I can't demo some of these. The big one is this new quiz assignment. So previously, if you wanted to do a quiz, you had to go to Google Drive, create a Google form, and then create an assignment to link that form through Classroom. You can now create your quizzes directly through Google Classroom. So basically, you've got the ability to create a form in Classroom itself. But the exciting thing is this new locked mode for quizzes. Now, we only have what Google has told us about this because it's not live yet. Let me flip to the next screen here. So what Google has indicated is if there's a couple of things in play here. Number one, you have to be using Google Classroom. Number 2, you have to use Google Forms. And number 3, your students have to be on Chromebooks. If all those 3 things are true, you will get this new button right here that will allow you to lock your students in to the Google form once they open it. So they won't be able to go out to different tabs and browse the web and look up answers during the quiz. But again, the most important thing is that it's Chromebook specific. So it's not going to work on iPads or Macs or PCs, only on Chromebooks. This is a feature that we do not have access to yet. So all we know is what Google has told us. I'm guessing there will be some technical requirements to get this set up, but we don't know what those are yet. This is a screenshot of the new create button. And so you have this new option, or will have this new option right here for quiz assignment that allows you to create your forms right from within Classroom, not even to go to Drive. So that's a quick update on the assignments. We've got, again, new quizzes in forms, locked mode, group assignments into topics and units, which is helpful. And then moving those assignments and groups up and down. Now, the latest updates on availability for these features, everything that I've mentioned here will be available to everyone in August. Now, again, we don't know if that's August 1st or August 30th. Google has not released that information. I would encourage every single one of you to sign up as a beta tester to get early access. They appear to be giving out access to people on a weekly basis. So if you sign up today, I would guess within the next 7 to 10 days that you will have access to many of these new features. I created a short link for that. If you just go to chrm.tech/gcbeta, it'll take you to the Google form that you can use to create it. That's a quick overview. Let me just pull up the chat here and see what we've got. I'm going to scroll through here quickly. Lisa, I see you're excited about the move up and down function. It's the simple things in life. Kurt, I agree with you. It would be nice to see the ability to drag those things up and down, not just rely on, moving it up. That can be a little tedious. So I'm with you there. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to talk about suggestions. Valissa, I see your comment there. Absolutely. In Google Classroom, once you log in, if you go to the bottom left corner of your screen, there's a little tiny question mark. By clicking that, you can send feedback to the Google Classroom team, and they take that very seriously to update that. Timothy, I see your question there about the done, not done notification. So this is a very important thing. When the answer is no, they don't see the done, not done right on the screen. You have to actually open the assignment to see that information. Yep, Karen, I know it is a great feature. There's a lot of technical things in play. And so I think, because Google has control over the Chromebooks and how they work, that's how they're able to do that. Kurt, I'm not sure about the iPads. Again, I think it's a technical issue. There's just some things that Google doesn't have control on if it's not their platform. I would probably guess it's more likely to be available on Android tablets or the new Chrome tablet than iPads in the future. And Erica's correct. GoGuardian, and there's several other tools that can do this. They just require a subscription to them. So cool. I think we're good. Yep. Noah, I see a question. If the teacher doesn't use a Chromebook, that's fine. It's more a factor of what device a student is using when they're taking the Chromebook or taking the quiz on, not creating it. Yeah. Mrs. McCutcheon, gradebook, not any word yet. Now, you didn't hear it from me, but I have heard rumblings that Google is working on a true gradebook, but it didn't emerge. And if it doesn't launch in the next couple of weeks, I don't know why Google would launch a gradebook midway through the school year. Seems kind of silly, but I've been wrong before. So cool. All right, so that's a quick overview of the major changes. Now, I want to allow you to get in and actually play with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the class code, and you are invited to come and join my Google Classroom with all of these features and experience them as a student. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. And here is the class code. Let me make this nice and big for you guys so you can see it. Now, a quick note: you're gonna have to do some multitasking here. If you can leave the video running in the background so you can just hear my voice, go ahead and open up Google Classroom, and I'll give you that code. Now, the challenge here: you probably will not be able to join my class using your school account. You can try, but it may not work. If you try using your school account and it says code not valid, it's because your school has blocked the ability to join courses outside of your district. So if that's true, then just use your personal Gmail account if you want. It's totally optional. I'm not going to collect your emails. I'm not going to even look at them. Use this code in your personal Gmail account, and you'll be able to get in. So go ahead and sign up. Let me pull this into the chat as well so that you can see it there. All right, so that's the code. If it says code not valid, Jeff, try a personal Gmail account. Same thing, Lisa. If it doesn't work, it's probably because your district has blocked it. I'll throw up the link to become a beta tester as well. Awesome. There we go. And cool. Let me take a look, see how many people I've got in here. Oh my, we've got all kinds of people. So a couple of things. Again, just listen to my voice as you're in Google Classroom, okay? So the first thing that I want to recommend you do when you go into Classroom, you'll look up at the top and you're going to see Stream, Classwork, and People. And those are the three new sections. Now, if you look at the stream, that's where you come in. You'll notice that it's really been stripped to the bare minimum. So like I've got a couple of assignments in there, but you don't see done, not done, due dates or anything. You have to actually click on the question. So I posted one, just real simple one. What's the weather like where you are? You've got to actually open that up to see what's going on there. The next thing I would encourage you to check out is the About page. So again, it's not really a page anymore. It's just a link. If you look in the top, or excuse me, kind of the right side midway in the your screen, you'll see a little tiny link that says About, and it'll give you just a tiny snapshot. I just put a quick, kind of overview of our time together. So you can customize this, but you can't add links and resources, attachments like you have done in the past, which is a bit of a bummer. The next thing that I'd point out to you is go ahead and click on the classwork page. And this is probably the most striking difference to Classroom. Let me, I'm going to share the rest of my screen so you can see everything. It allows you to see, all of the assignments grouped into topics. So I do really like this. So I've got this class discussion one. Now, if I click the snowman over in the top right corner, this is where I'm going to see the ability to move those down, move those up on the page. So that is, very, very handy. I like how this is set up. So you can see that I've got a question I'm going to post to you guys in a little bit, and that's currently posted as a draft. And it's, again, listed or organized within that class discussion, which is a lot easier for me as a teacher to manage and organize. It would be nice if I could just click and drag these up and down to reorder them. Next up, If you take a quick look at the People tab, for you guys, it's just going to say classmates. For students, it's really not going to be a major difference. For me, it's going to list co-teachers, guardians, as we've done in the past. Now, there's one other thing that's pretty major in my opinion. I don't know how you guys are handling class comments. In the past, some teachers are like, it was a total disaster. I turned them off. I hated the class comments. Other people use them a lot. Google has changed. It's very subtle, but they've changed kind of how they've prioritized private comments and class comments. So do me a favor, go ahead and click on under class discussion. So in the classwork page, under class discussion, go ahead and click on what is the weather like where you are. Okay, open that up. And what you're going to see is, I got to pull up a student account. So you'll notice that where the class comment typically was, it now says private comment. So Google is emphasizing the private comment. So that's a comment between you and the student, and almost hiding the class comment feature. So to add a class comment, you actually have to go up right underneath the assignment title. You'll see this tiny little link that says add class comment. I think this is good because, the class comment has been a little noisy in the past. So they're emphasizing that the comment between the teacher and the student. But what I anticipate is that students who use Google Classroom in the past, last year, they're not going to really recognize it. So I predict that the first couple weeks of the new school year, you are going to get a ton of private messages from your students because they think they're adding class comments, not private ones. So prepare yourself from that. Kim, yes, you can. Same settings as before. If you don't want to deal with those class comments, you can turn that off entirely, just as you have in the past. Now, you guys can't see this because you're students, so I'll go ahead and pull it up. If I go into my home screen, I'll click on the gear symbol. And this is where I have the ability to adjust all of my settings, the class code, the stream, guardian summaries, deleted items, add my kind of syllabus and class description. I saw a comment from somebody about how I added so much text into my about section. Oh, from Heather. So Heather, to edit the about section, you have to go into class settings, click on the gear, and that's where you'll see this page, and then you can click the pencil to edit it. If you click the little about link in the bottom corner of the class picture, it just shows you what's there. It doesn't let you actually change it. Yep. Cool. Yep. Good. Tim. Tim likes the private comment option. Janet, yes. So you are in the old version of Google Classroom still. So when you get the access to the beta, again, only new classes that you create will have the new layout that you see here. All right, just taking a look. Good. Shelly likes the new class comment option there. Cool. All right, I'm just looking through the comments, make sure that I didn't miss anything. Yep. Okay. Cool. So that is a quick update on the class. You get to see some of the settings here. Now, if you haven't done so, go ahead for me and click on that "What's the weather like where you are?" and go ahead and answer that question, so it will mark it as done. One of the things that I am, okay, we're going to switch to opinion time now. Here are some of my thoughts on these updates where I think it really is helpful, and then also some areas where I think we need to ask Google to change. For me, one of the big things is that when I'm looking at my various assignments, not being able to see at a glance how many students have turned in or not turned in an assignment is huge for me. So like right now, I don't know how many of you have completed this What's the Weather Like assignment. I have to actually click on the assignment to open it up and actually get that information. So I can see that 172 have finished it. I think that's a big miss. It's too many clicks in my opinion. Now I'm going to go ahead and return this assignment to you guys. So that you can see kind of how this feels. Now, nothing has changed from the grading feedback perspective. All of this stuff is exactly the same once you open the assignment. But the other thing that I don't like is that for you, the student, if you have completed an assignment, again, it doesn't show you on the home screen of your class work page. It doesn't show you that the assignment is done. You have to open the assignment up to see that little green circle indicating that the assignment is complete. I would like, again, to see Google update this so that on the class home screen, it actually displays if it's done, late, returned, unsubmitted, and so on. So I'm trying to return this. Google Classroom gets a little cranky if there's more than 100 people in the class. So we'll see. We'll see how this works. So I think they need to improve some of the quick information settings from within Classroom to make it a little bit simpler for us to be able to see this. Next up, I do like the ability that we have to organize the class, our class assignments, to put them into categories. I like that the categories are better now than they were in the past. Previously those categories over on the left side were a little difficult to manage. I like how they've blocked it, but I am really struggling with the inability to add non-assignments into the classwork page. So what do you do if you just want to give a kid a resource? You want to say, here's a link, here's a template, here's a list of acceptable websites. Right now, there's no way to get something into the classwork page unless you create an assignment for it. And then if it's an assignment, even if you're not expecting your students to turn it in, now they've got this assignment that is listed as not done that they just have to either ignore or deal with. So we got to have a way to add links somewhere in here. Now you can put them in the stream as an announcement, but again, it's totally separated from the classwork page and the topics, the units that you have created. And it gets lost. So we don't have the ability anymore to move things up and down in the stream. It's just stuck there. We don't even have the ability to move it to the top anymore. And then they also deleted the about page. So we don't have the ability to put our links on the about page either. Now, what I'm doing to kind of counteract that is I'm using my about page kind of like I was in the past. So if you saw my screenshot, I am putting links on my about page, but it's really it's a hack because you have to put the full URL in order for it to become clickable. So it has to be http:// and then the link. If it doesn't have all of that, then it doesn't become a clickable link. So that, in my opinion, is a big issue. Like, where do you store your general class resources? Now, I have a friend who is doing some interesting things with this. Let me pull up she sent me a text with a cool screenshot. So this is my friend Tanya from Michigan. All right, let me pull this image up. All right, let me share my there. Oh, good. So this is how my friend Tanya is handling this. I thought it's a good option. It's the best option we have, in my opinion. So she created a new topic in her classwork page called About Resources. And then she's posted all of her kind of traditional things, class syllabus, hall passes, finished early activities, things like that. Her first day assignment is for her students to actually look at each of these quote unquote assignments and mark them as done. She doesn't grade them, but she just wants them to mark as done so that they're not hanging out as undone assignments. Until we have the ability to add links, this is another option. You can use your actual about page like I've done, or you can create kind of a topic for those resources like Tanya's done. So Tanya's got some great ideas and is doing some good things with Google Classroom. All right, let me close my screen share here. All right, I'm back. How's everybody doing? I see you guys are chatting it up in the comments, which is brilliant. Good, and glad you liked that out about resource. Patricia, excellent question. Patricia's asking, can we reuse assignments from last school year given the changes in classroom? Answer is yes. I've done it quite a bit already. Absolutely no issues with that. One weird thing that you will have to get used to, if you're on the stream page and you click the reuse post button when you're on stream, it only shows you announcements, because now you can only post announcements to the stream page. So you have to remember, if you're trying to reuse an assignment or a question, you got to go to the classwork page and click the reuse button, and you'll get option to all of your different things. Trish is asking, do we have the option to stay with the old Google Classroom? I don't have a good answer for you. I do know that if you create your courses now, they will stay in the mostly original interface. It doesn't automatically get migrated. So if you really are passionate about not using the new one, you'd want to create your courses right away. There are a few changes to the courses, even with the updates, so be aware of that, but mostly it's the same. So although, Trish, and I see a couple other of you saying, I don't like this, I'm out. Don't give up, okay? I would strongly encourage you, rather than just trying to stick with the old version of Classroom, make your voice heard. Go ahead and go into Google Classroom, click that question mark in the bottom left corner, and tell Google what you like and don't like. Absolutely. I mean, these are the products that we use. Google is desperate for our feedback on these new features. They're very responsive. They take every piece of feedback very, very seriously. So if you're passionate about, I want links on the classwork page, then have every single one of your students every day send Google feedback that says, we want links on the classwork page, or whatever else you feel that they need to update. Let me see if there's anything else in here. Yep. So Erica, absolutely. Yep. Send that feedback for sure. Rebecca's asking a question about feedback. So Rebecca, when you create a question in Google Classroom, as a teacher, you have the ability to determine if students can see one another's responses or not. And when they don't see the feedback from their classmates until after they have submitted their own response. Lindsay, do we have to recreate the classes? If you want to take advantage of the new features to Classroom, the answer is yes. They're not going to automatically migrate, at least at this time, your current Google Classrooms to the new interface. And so, again, if you want the new Classroom, I would wait to create your courses for the coming school year until after you get access. And that's why I would sign up for the beta program earlier, sooner rather than later. Those are my primary things that I would recommend, or the things that I want to see Google change. I'm a little disappointed that we don't have the About page anymore. I would love the ability to add my announcements into my topics as well, which would satisfy kind of the link option. Another one we talked about was the no done counts on the class assignments. You know, not being able to see who has or has not submitted an assignment. And then this one is subtle. You guys probably didn't notice it. Did any of you use the to-do page as a teacher, where you were able to go in to the to-do and see all of the assignments that you need to grade? I actually use that from time to time. I thought it was really helpful. I don't know why, but that feature is gone in the new Classroom. The to-do feature is disappeared. Now, if you're a student, it's still there. But as a teacher, I'm not able to get kind of an overview of all of my assignments and how many are done, not done, returned. So that's another one I've been sending feedback to Google on, trying to encourage them to bring that back. I can see individual assignments. I can look at all the assignments from one student, but I can't see all the assignments in the class on one page. Which is a bummer. So Lisa, yeah, there was a feature in the old one. Now you're in my class as a student, and so if you click on the hamburger menu, those 3 lines in the top left corner, you'll see to do listed because you're a student, and that will show you the assignments that are listed. But for whatever reason, they took it out, which is a bummer. So I'll look for questions and answer those as we come back in. Just going to give a couple of suggestions for you, how you should kind of prepare yourself for these updates and things. Number one, if you haven't done so, sign up for the beta testing so you can get in earlier as you can. Number two, you absolutely want to make sure that you send feedback to Google and voice your opinion about what you would like to see them do with Classroom. And then thirdly, just a third option for you, if you're interested in not just learning about the new Classroom, but really learning how you can use Google Classroom to improve instruction, I'd like to warmly invite you to join me for my 5-week course on Google Classroom. I'm actually giving each of you guys access to the first lesson, the introduction. It's in the course right now. So the course you just joined, it's in there. And so you can check it out to see if you like the format and how that works. The course begins on Sunday, July 29th. So it's only a few days away. We've got a big group in there already. If you'd like to kind of get in to the details and kind of walk through the setup and use of Classroom, love to have you. Really, my course, it's called Classroom Kickstart, and the idea is I want to help you with 2 things. Number one, I want to help you use Google Classroom to save time, okay? Teachers waste so much time just shuffling papers around, whether it's taking attendance, checking in homework, collecting exit tickets, seeing who has and hasn't turned in an assignment. You are, professionals. Your time is very valuable. You should not be using it to do those kinds of things. So I'm going to help you use Google Classroom to eliminate a lot of that administrative work from your course. And then secondly, what I'm most excited about is helping you design better lessons using Google Classroom. Now, this is one of the challenges. It really disappoints me when I see teachers using Google Classroom to continue paper-based methods of instruction. like, we have this wonderful tool that allows us to be more creative and collaborative. Why are we just using it to distribute PDF worksheets? It's not, you're wasting the potential. And so my course does two things: helps you save time and then helps you design better lessons to challenge and engage your students. So the course takes place fittingly in Google Classroom. So I use Classroom to teach the course. It is a fully uh, online, at your own pace course. So there are no mandatory meetings. There's no webinars like this that you have to sign in to. So it's video-based course each week. Every Sunday, I post a lesson for the week, and you have 7 days to work your way through the videos, the assignments, the activities. We do class discussions. I'm there to provide you help and assistance as well. So I do several of these every year. Some of you are in already. So Lori was in the multimedia course. We did that last year. I did a Google Forms course this past winter as well. If you're interested in the course, I'm going to throw the link into the chat. The course begins again this Sunday, July 29th. The course is $99 for the 5 weeks. You can sign up. You get immediate access and into the course. Last 5 weeks, so it's July 29th through August 30th. And during the course, you're going to set up all of your classes and be ready for the upcoming school year. So I'd love to have you there. I'm going to go ahead and give away another copy of my book to one person. And let's see, where's my Australian friend? Who is from Australia? Someone was here, and then we had someone from Spain. If you're still in, give me a shout out. For being up super early and super late, I'd love to give you access to the course. Where's my Australian person? Lisa, I will answer your question, and I also use this as shameless self-promotion. If you sign up for my Classroom Kickstart course, I will show you the magic of the icons and how I added them in there. No, just joking. I'm adding those icons into the topics by using emoji. So I have an emoji extension that I have installed, and I just copy and paste those emojis into the section. I do that a lot in Classroom because it's so text heavy. I don't see my Australian friend in here. All right. I don't know who. University of Colima. That's what your name is coming up for. I'd love to give you a free registration to the Classroom Kickstart course. If you will email me, just reply on one of my previous emails so that I know your email address, and I will send that over to you. Oh, where's Arita? Arita, are you in here? Arita, yeah, I'd love to give you one as well for getting up staying up so late to join us. So Arita, if you would just send me an email, letting me know what your email address is, I will get you in here as well. Cool. I'm gonna give away one more copy of the book. I'm just gonna scroll through these comments at random, and first name I see, Joseph Osdemore. Joe, are you here? If you're still in here, Joe, I'd love to send you a copy of my book, Chromebook Classroom. Just send me an email if you would, Joe, and let me know your shipping address, and I will get it out to you. Congratulations. Awesome. Joe, yep, just send me an email so I know where to send the book. Was this helpful? What'd you guys think? You feel a little bit better on using the new Classroom for the coming school year? Cool. Good deal. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to send a follow-up email to everyone. You're going to get a recording to this, the whole webinar. You're welcome to pass it on, share it with someone. I'm also going to give you the first lesson to the Classroom Kickstart course and a list of helpful links that'll help you use Google Classroom in the coming school year. Thanks so much for joining me this evening. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you again soon.